What is up, everybody? Jester here. And as many of you longtime followers of mine know, I try to be extremely truthful when it comes to my content and getting you guys the best information possible so you can spend your time playing video games in a more efficient manner and not wasting time doing dumb stuff. And unfortunately, in the last video, I fell a little bit short. I was trying to report to you on the nerf when it comes to the Purge Golems and just how much it had been nerfed, and I reported 99.998% drop in XP gain from each golem. Well, in the interest of truth and fairness, I have to report I was wrong. It's way worse than I thought. Let's get into it. In the last video, I showed you that a brand new Sumerian Berserker at level 0 requires 3,675 XP in order to level up to 1. And then after shooting a golem during a purge, I concluded that the new XP for golems was 1317 because I had gotten to level 1. But what I didn't realize was that it was weird because we shouldn't have leveled up if we only got 1,317 points. That's because I was dead wrong about how this works. While I was correct in saying that it's 3,675 experience points to get a Sumerian Berserker from level 0 to level 1, there were a couple of factors that I did not see at the time. Number one, this is kind of irrelevant, but I do want to point this out. Apparently there are multiple tiers for tier 4 thralls with XP requirements, and the Sumerian Berserker is in the highest group, meaning you're going to take a lot longer to get a Zerker leveled up to 20 than you might, say, a Cannibal Brute or something like that. It would require further testing, but apparently there are different tiers inside of the tier 4. The biggest mistake that I made, though, was thinking, well, it's just going to keep stacking, and that's not the way it works at all. You actually reset back to 0 experience points every time you level up. What that means is that you now have to add that 13,650 to the 3,675, giving you, what is that, 17,325 XP to actually get to level 2, not 13,650. It's kind of interesting, and it changes the math completely. So now that we know the mistake that we made, we have to redo the math to figure out how much XP a Purge Golem is actually dropping, and that's pretty simple. What we need to do is add 3,675. That was the requirement for the Zerker to go from level 0 to level 1, and then we have to add in 1317, which was the remainder that we got towards level 2. And we got that number twice, so I'm pretty confident that that's the actual number. When you do that, you get 4,992. It's kind of a random number, but that's the XP that Purge Golems are now dropping. This also means that we now have to go refigure how much XP it takes to get a Sumerian Berserker from level 0 to level 20, and this required some planning. Before I show you my solution as to how much XP it takes to get from level 0 to level 20, at least with a Sumerian Berserker, I do want to acknowledge and say thank you to the people in the comments that were trying to help with this. One person came in and said they thought it was around 1.3 million that the Purge Golems used to drop, so that's basically what it took. Another person said they were using a mod, and it was definitely 5 million. And then we had a very confident person that came in and said it was 7.5 million exactly. And unfortunately, based on my testing here, none of those three numbers are actually accurate. It's actually above all of them. Because what I did was I laid down 20 Sumerian Berserkers, all the way from level 0 here, and worked all the way up to level 19. Because now we know that if you just add these numbers together, because the XP resets to 0, this gives you the exact number of XP required. Now, I'm not going to put like 20 lines of numbers on the screen because I think that would look like garbage. If anybody would like to see the actual requirements per level to get leveled up, I will do a pinned comment on that. Just let me know. Happy to do it. I've got all the numbers written down. But when I added everything together, I got a grand total of 7,986,075 experience points required to go from 0 to 20, at least with the Sumerian Berserker. So what this means is the Purge Golems were dropping damn near 8 million experience points because you were insta-leveling. And if I thought 1 million was too much, 8 million is ridiculous. So this absolutely needed to be nerfed. But how much did they actually nerf it? In the last video, I said that you had to go now from 1 Purge Golem to 819, and I'm here to tell you that barely scratches the surface because it's actually closer to double that. To get there, we're going to take that 7,986,075 number, and we're going to divide it by the number of XP that Golems now drop at 4992, and as you can see, it is now 1,600 Purge Golems needed to get to level 20 if you just did Purge Golems. That's a pretty big difference from 1, don't you think? So now I'm going to calculate the number that is remaining percentage-wise from what it used to be. To do that, we're going to take that 4,992 number. Again, that's the number of XP that the Purge Golems are dropping. And we're going to divide in that 7.986,075. And we're going to hit equals. Now, this looks really good, right? You're thinking, oh, it's only a 94% nerf. Well, no, because this E-4 number here means that decimal point has to move 4 places back to the left. What that actually leaves you with is a 0.0006, meaning this is a 99.9993% nerf. It's so small, even my computer's trying to sugarcoat it. This is a lot. Look, if I thought over 1 million XP was too much for Purge Golems to be dropping, 8 million is ridiculous. I'm not arguing that it needed to be looked at and nerfed. I completely agree with Funcom that this was way out of line with everything else in the game. But what I will argue is, by doing it this much, they are now taking one of the best in-game mechanics out of the game for a ton of people. Let's just say that a Sumerian Berserker takes 5 hours if you find a good run, a good loop, to level up to level 20. I think it's actually going to be longer than that, but let's just say 5 hours for a good round number. My Purge base runs on 19 Fighting Thralls and a Personal Protector, so 20. That's 100 hours of nothing but XP grinding to get to where I was on this server for the next server. Nobody's got time for that. And plus, the rewards suck when it comes to purges. The boxes might have a few gold bars, Heart of a Hero, maybe a recipe. Good luck getting the Burning Cauldron. It's like a 0.1% drop rate now. I've gotten it twice, and I've run hundreds of purges. It's ridiculous how low that percentage is for that drop. It's just not worth it anymore. For anybody that does want to run purges, all you're going to end up doing is throwing 40 level 0 thralls at it, and there's no strategy in that. That was the fun part about purges, is you could try different designs and different ways to make the AI path, and then you could put obstacles in that way. Different archers in different spots, or different foot soldiers in different places, and you could experiment with where your tar dumpers and stuff were at. And I fear this is just gone because they've gone this far with it now. So I really hope they kind of revisit this and take a look at it and try to meet it in the middle. I can kind of understand on a PvP side, but if it's available to everybody, I don't see it as an exploit. I know we've had a little bit of discussion about this in the comments from the last video, but for me, it's not really an exploit. It was just kind of a fun way to get things leveled up. And somebody's like, well, this person's got more level 20 thralls than me in PvP. Well, maybe you should have been running purges and not going out and farming rocks and trees and stuff. I don't know. I don't PvP, so I'm not necessarily calling anybody out on that. But to me, it's a pretty easy fix. Run purges and then you've got the same benefit. Hopefully you guys like these kind of looks into video games, because I know that not everybody's got 100 hours to go in and grind to get a purge base set up, or any other thing for that matter. Some people have only got a couple hours a week to game. And what I do at this channel is try to help you guys make the most of that time by being efficient. And I will continue to do that going forward in Dune Awakening. It's going to be new to all of us. I think it's going to be a great time. So subscribe to the channel and like the video, because it's going to help get the video out to more people with a like mindset. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I apologize that we made the errors in the last one. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys tips and tricks for the new purge system that I think may help a little bit, but again, it's still going to be pretty grindy, so yeah, there is that. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.